All right, let's just jump right in. We're standing on the edge of a massive, and I mean massive shift in how we buy, well, everything. Seriously, forget what you know about online shopping, because we're about to talk about a future where AI doesn't just help you shop, it literally does the shopping for you. Welcome to the world of agentic commerce. But, to make this feel real, think about your own to-do list for a second. All the errands, the planning, the never-ending tasks. Now, what if that list could just do itself? I know, it sounds a little like science fiction, right? But that's the core promise of what we're digging into today. So to really get what this means, let's imagine one of the most stressful things you could possibly do: moving your whole family across the country. You're excited about the new job, sure, but that excitement gets buried so fast under this avalanche of logistics. It is the perfect storm of complexity. And here's the real problem. Everything is just scattered all over the place. You're trying to juggle a dozen different websites, compare a million different options, all while trying to stick to a budget. It honestly becomes a full-time job, and it's just completely overwhelming. Okay, but this is where the game completely changes. Imagine, instead of all that chaos, you have one single intelligent AI agent. It already knows your budget, your style, your family's needs, and it just gets to work. It's not just some assistant, it's basically your personal chief of staff for the entire move. So how does this stuff actually work? Behind the scenes? Let's break down the mechanics of this whole new way of getting things done. So at its core, agentic commerce is really all about delegating tasks to an AI that can act on its own. The key words here are anticipate, navigate, and execute. It's a proactive system. It goes from understanding what you want to delivering the final result, and a lot of the time, you don't even have to lift a finger. And this is what the new customer journey looks like. It all starts with the agent noticing you have a need. Maybe it sees an upcoming birthday on your calendar. Then it does all the research, it finds the best deals, and it comes back to you with just a few perfect options. You give it the nod, and bam, it handles everything else. Payments, tracking, even returns. All that friction we're used to, it's just gone. But how does the agent actually pull all this off? Well, there are basically three ways it can work. First, you've got agent to site. Think of this like a super smart web scraper that just scans a bunch of websites for you. Then there's agent to agent. And this is the really futuristic one, where your AI literally negotiates with a store's AI. How cool is that? And finally, there's the brokered model, where your agent uses a middleman, kind of like OpenTable, to coordinate across a ton of different vendors all at once. Okay, now let's talk about the scale of this thing. Because we are not talking about some small niche market here. This is a transformation with absolutely enormous economic implications. Get ready for this. By 2030, the global value of agentic commerce is projected to be somewhere between $3 and $5 trillion. That's trillion with a T. This isn't just the next step for online shopping. It's a complete restructuring of the entire retail economy. The stakes are just incredibly high. And here's the kicker. This shift is going to happen way, way faster than the original e-commerce revolution. Why? Just look at the numbers. Back in 1999, you had about 100 million people online. Today, over 5.5 billion. The digital highways are already built. These AI agents can just get on and go at an incredible speed. So if you're running a business, what on earth does this mean for you? Well, it means the old playbook is about to be tossed out the window. There are brand new rules for engaging with your customers, especially when your customer might not even be human anymore. Basically, companies are facing a two-part challenge. They have to innovate, meaning build totally new ways for these agents to find their products and engage with their brand, but they also have to renovate. They've got to upgrade all their existing stuff, like their checkout and payment systems, so that an AI can actually use them without a hitch. And you can't just do one or the other. You really have to do both. And this quote from McKinsey's Lorena Yee really hammers home the urgency. Think about this for a second. A significant percentage of their customers will not be human users, but rather AI agents. Whoa, this is absolutely not a wait-and-see moment. The companies that move on this first, they're the ones who are going to shape this entire new landscape. But all of this, every single bit of it, hinges on one critical, foundational element. And without it, the whole system just falls apart. And that element is trust. This really is the central question we all have to ask ourselves, right? Who do you trust when you aren't the one making the final choice? When you hand over decisions from what to buy to how much to spend, you are placing a massive amount of trust in an algorithm. So how do we build that trust? And who's responsible when something goes wrong? And building that trust isn't just one thing, it's this multi-layered challenge. We're going to need things like know your agent protocols, kind of like banks do, to verify an AI's identity. We need full transparency into how it makes decisions. And of course, we need rock-solid data security and responsible governance. Every single one of these pieces has to be locked in place. And make no mistake, the risks are very real. You've got systemic risk, where one tiny error in a prompt could cause this massive cascade of problems. Then there's accountability. It's a total legal gray area right now. If an agent messes up, who's to blame? You, the brand, the AI developer? And don't even get me started on data ownership, which is already a tangled mess of global privacy laws. It's a really complex landscape to navigate. So, here's the bottom line. The technology is moving at a dizzying pace. The economic incentives are absolutely massive, and you can bet the big players are already making their moves. This agentic future is being built as we speak. The only real question left is, are you ready for it?